morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time of day it is for you. It's probably early in the morning, I'm guessing, because you're doing this just before class or something like that. Anyway, here's the deal. We're going to talk today about Daffy-nitions. And you don't know what Daffy-nitions are? This is a guy called Daffy Duck, a famous cartoon character. And so we're going to talk about Daffy-nitions, okay? And we're going to make this right. Okay. Daffy-nitions. Okay, Daffy-nitions. Or, if you prefer, definitions. Because in geometry, we need to define things. That's very, very important to know what we're talking about. We're talking about a line or a segment or something like that. We really need to know what we're talking about. So we need to come up with a definition. And so basically there's three things that we need to do when we're finding a definition. The first one is to state the term. What is it we're trying to define? State the term. The second one is to state the nearest classification. What does it look like? Okay? State the nearest classification. Or the nearest definition. It looks like something else. What is that it looks like? And then three, state those things that make it unique. State the things that make it unique. You know how to catch a one-of-a-kind rabbit, don't you? You sneak up on it. Okay, that's a little joke there, but I'm pretty sure you'll get over it. All right, so what are we going to do here? Let's talk about. We're going to define a couple of terms here. The first one we're going to define is gurgles. Now we're going to show you examples, and we're going to show you. In order to define these terms, I'm going to give you some examples, and give you some non-examples. Okay. And then we'll see if we can go ahead and define the term, okay, the way it says to up here. So let's start with a simple term here. We're going to talk about the basic geometry term gurgles. G-U-R, gurgle. Okay. And what is a gurgle? Well, let me give you some examples of what a gurgle is. Okay. Here's a gurgle. That's a gurgle. This is also a gurgle. Okay. And let's make that a good gurgle. We don't want to confuse you guys with bad gurgles. And this is a good gurgle. And here's another gurgle. Okay. And now we don't want to call everything a gurgle, because everything's not a gurgle. So let's look at non-examples and okay, non-gurgle. This is not a gurgle. Watch. You watching? Not just because it's purple. Even if it were yellow, it wouldn't be a gurgle. And this is not a gurgle. Okay. And this is not a gurgle. That's not a gurgle. Okay? So what is a gurgle? Pretty easy. Number one, a gurgle is I've just done number one. State the term. A gurgle is. Okay? And I should write carefully, shouldn't I? A gurgle is the nearest classification. Well, we don't have any near classification. So, you know, we just don't know. But we look at this and, yeah, you know what that looks to me like? That looks to me like a blob. Okay. Now, but wait a minute, is this a blob? That looks like a square, doesn't it? I don't think it's a blob. So I'm going to call it a blob. I'm going to say, just for now, just to start off with, it's a blob with one eye. Because look, okay, there's one eye in the middle here, and there's one eye in the middle here. But these are not gurgles, so there's something unique about this. So we state the nearest classification, state the things that make it unique. It has one eye. What else is true? Well, it has and three, what we call those things? We call those arms or tails. How about tails? 3 tails. A gurgle has 3 tails. Okay. Now this is this a blob? Because this is a non-example. This is not a gurgle. So is that a blob? Or let's say roundish. A roundish, and these are exact. A round blob with 1 eye and 3 tails. Is that a good definition, do you think? Because I kind of like it, and so I'm going to stick with that for now, because we need to go on to the next one, and that is a glomule, and number 2 is a glomule. Glomule. This is not like the mules that pull the carts alongside the road. This is a glomule. Okay, so let's take a look at what a glomule is. These are definitions of a or these are pictures of examples of a glomule. Okay, here's a glomule. Alright, and I'm being very careful because I want to draw nice, neat glomules. Okay. Alright, that's a glomule. Looks like an amoeba, doesn't it? Okay, and this is like biology class. Like drawing an amoeba in biology class. Let's try another glomule. Here's a glomule. There's a glomule, and it's got this, and I'm trying my best to draw really nice glomules. Okay, there's a glomule. And then here, this is also a glomule. Okay, well, what's not a glomule? Let's take a look at what is not a glomule. Well, first of all, this is not a glomule. And that's not a glomule. Looks like a glomule, doesn't it? But it's not a glomule. Okay, here's a not a glomule. This is not a glomule. And I think you guys are starting to understand why this is not a glomule. And my favorite, my personal favorite not glomule is this not glomule. Okay, so what is a glomule? Well, glomule is a glomule is, and remember, state the term. Number 1, we just stated the term. A glomule is, state the nearest classification. What's the nearest classification? Does a glomule look like a gurgle? Maybe we could say a gurgle, and then state the things that make it unique. A gurgle, because remember, a gurgle is a blob with 1 eye, a round blob with 1 eye and 3 tails. These are not round blobs. And so a glomule is a gurgle with 2 eyes. And I like to do this because it's funny to make eyes in your word, eyes. 2 eyes, and that looks like a nose. All right, never mind. 2 eyes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 short tails. 5 short tails, because look, this has 5 short tails, but it has 3 eyes. This, and plus it's a triangle. It's not a round blob, it's a triangle. This is a rectangle, it's not a round blob, just like this is a square, it's not a round blob. So a gurgle is a round blob. A glomule is a gurgle with 2 eyes and 5 short tails. And so this is how you write a definition. Now when you come into school tomorrow or come into class tomorrow, we're going to get together in groups and we're going to write some definitions of terms that we will be using in, I'm sorry, we're going to write some, sorry Daffy, we're going to write some Daffy-nitions of terms which we're going to be using in geometry class. And you guys are going to work together and I think you're going to have some fun. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in class tomorrow. Bye.